Welcome everybody to another episode of Kickin with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are really taking the industry by storm. And we got the new school on deck. And today, we got a local legend in the making, owner of Vermalo. I'm talking skincare, the lip balm, the sunscreen, the lotion, everything that goes on the skin to make you feel good. I got the CEO and founder, Perry Willett, here from Jelco, Vermont. Thank you for coming and kicking with me. Thank you for coming and kicking with me, boss lady. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
So, Tallow, Vermalo, give us the rundown, as I know that you've probably done many times before, but give us the quick synopsis, right, on what is Tallow and why is this revolutionary product in the game of skincare?
It's a great question. So tallow is actually beef fat. It's a specific fat that I use. It's found around the kidney and the loin of the beef cow, the animal. It's not all of the fat throughout the animal. It's not like the trimmings. It's the purest form of fat. So when I ask farmers for it, I look for specifically the kidney and the loin fat. And it's super beneficial for our skin because it's animal based and we're animals. Our skin can actually absorb all the beneficial nutrients that are in it. It's really rich in natural acids, so like palmoic acid, and a bunch of vitamins and natural minerals. So our skin can actually rebuild its structure with these natural nutrients, as well as it's 100% non-toxic. So what you're putting on your skin isn't like a nasty fragrance. It isn't a chemical. It isn't created in a lab. It's 100% natural, and so it's safe for everyone, which is awesome. We've been using tallow, believe it or not, for decades. Our ancestors used to use it before petroleum jelly became a thing, before it was invented. We used to use tallow as skincare, but unfortunately, petroleum jelly became more cost effective and easier to produce. To get tallow to a point to be useful for skincare, it takes a lot of work and it's a lot of processing, a lot of time in my kitchen, so to speak. Versus petroleum jelly, it's like twofold. So a lot of people switch to the aquaphor based skincare, and it slowly started turning more and more into, like a lot of things on the market nowadays, more of money makers instead of actual quality and care
Right,
for
right.
what the intention is for.
So would you say that your product is a kind of cost benefit analysis, right? When it comes to a easier product that you can get your, as you said, your Vinos, your Apple Fours in the drugstore anywhere, as opposed to something that's better for you, but is harder to make. But because it's harder to make, is because it's better for you, right? And getting to that point, right, when you're creating a business to make sustainable, how did you then think of this thing that takes a really long time and processing to refine, but then also make it to a point where you can package it and market it as products where people would want it to consume?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a challenge. When people come up to me at markets or message me online, they aren't so sure. I mean, if I were to tell you, oh, yeah, rub this beef fat on your face, you might be a little appalled at first. But I was really passionate to make the education stand alone and be the driver of what I was really trying to do. Once people hear and understand the natural benefits and the fact that it's non-toxic and natural, really sells itself. Unfortunately, cancer has been really prevalent in my own life and my community's life. And so getting people to understand that this is going to be safe, not only safe, but you're supporting our local economy. And it's something that you can reach for multiple different uses because it's so multi-purpose. You're buying a product that you can use for, you can use it for cuts, scrapes, scabs. You can use it as a
Mm,
moisturizer. You can use it on your lips. You can use it on your feet. You can use it in
wow.
your hair. Like it's so universal that yeah, I can sell it to one person as one thing, but then I can
So many
completely
uses for
change.
different people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
And I would say, right, on your website, you said that, right, same. Like my grandmother, both my grandmother and my grandfather passed of cancer, and my aunt, right? Like as you know, like it's a lot of what we eat, a lot of what we consume.
Mhm.
And as they're getting sicker and sicker, they also can't eat more and more things, right? The things that they used to eat all the time. And this led to, like you said, this discovery of tallow and how much beneficial it is. And honestly, the history, right? Going back into your own research, and you had a previous role in food production, right? Previously being head cheesemaker at Shelburne Farms over here in Vermont as well. So how did that experience kind of in that education kind of inform, right, your research and your kind of building of this brand and building of your own telling of the story and sharing with other people?
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually am still work in food production.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Wonderful.
nowadays anything to do to pay the bills, so I still work a 40-hour job on top of doing my own
Wow.
thing.
All the other food and markets and everything. Wow.
Yeah, so the food production job set me up with feeling confident and comfortable with processing a raw material like suet, which is the tallow. If I didn't have previous experience, with it's called HACCP and SOPs. It's like a standard practice of how to do something with knowing all of your hazards, your biohazards, your chemical hazards, your physical hazards, as well as like an SOP, which is a standard operating procedure of how things are done. That way you can track um, timing, temperature, all of these different things. And because I have been trained in like food safety and HACCP safety training, I felt a lot more comfortable diving into doing the processing of this animal product myself. Whereas if I didn't have all of this, I would be a lot more unsure on whether I was doing it the right way and like the clean way. But now that I like understand sanitation and cleaning is 85% of my job at the cheese plant. So that is, I would say, 75% of what I'm doing when I'm processing is like sanitizing and cleaning all of my equipment and make, because this is like a skincare cosmetic product, it's super important that everything is clean in between batches, no ingredients are like mixing for allergens. Um, so it really set me up for success and gave me the confidence to basically tell myself, yeah, you can do this and you should have confidence being able to do this.
And you also hold a degree, I believe, in environmental studies, environmental
Yep.
science, environmental
Yep.
studies.
Hmm.
So does this kind of feel like a natural? Did this now that you're here, right? And kudos to you, like I said, boss lady, doing 40 hours a week and still getting at the grind and getting at the entrepreneurial spirit, right? Like what sparked you, even though you are constantly seems like surrounding yourself with nature, with things of the earth, with things of how can we better utilize the world around us and better have a relationship with it, right? With your formal studies and with the 40 hours a week job that you have. But then why put on top, like what kind of then said, hey, this is a product that works well for me. I really love making it, but I also want to be able to sell it and then create a story in Vermont for Vermonters.
Yeah. It's, I have this goal. It's a very treacherous goal of being as self-sufficient as I can be
Mm-hmm.
as possible. So trying to learn all the trades I can and, be able to raise my own food and raise my own animals, to master the craft of all of the
Right.
trades. I think it's super important. So independence is super important to me. But the biggest thing was when I actually was gifted a jar of tallow 2 years ago, and that's how I was introduced to it. And a friend was like, you should try to make this a thing here in Vermont. We have so many quality beef farmers that probably have no idea that they're not utilizing their suet. And she gave me the confidence to give it a whirl. So I got a small batch of suet from a local farmer and tried a really, really tiny batch and gave it to friends and family, and they really liked it. So that sparked it. But it also sparked where I was reaching out to grass-fed finished farmers, and a lot of farmers didn't even know that this could be a
Right,
thing from the
right,
product. So a lot
right.
of farmers are actually like throwing away suet or not even getting it back from the butcher. And then they're not making money on that weight from their cow. So
Mm,
they're losing
right,
money. So now I'm able to give them profit from something that they either just give to the butcher or they throw away. So
right.
it's benefiting both parties, as well as they now get marketing through me when I give so much gratitude to the farmers that I purchase from, because I mean all of their work is what creates the quality for my work. Um, so I have little bios of all the farmers that I support on my website. I try to promote them as much as possible because they're the ones that start the process for me, and celebrating them because that's their hard work, their regenerative agriculture, their good practices, their rotational grazing. That is what makes the quality the start of the quality for me.
Mhm.
So that was the biggest thing, was my own needs, my own family and community needs for like a non-toxic thing that actually works and is beneficial, as well as like benefiting more of our Vermont farmers, because farming right now is so hard and they're so underappreciated.
And honestly, I love that because it taught me something, right? It's an educational thing, like you said, like the educational component um sells itself, right? Even as someone that uh is into agriculture, right? Like in is not even into the idea of like maybe a skincare routine that they need, but didn't even know that I didn't know that there was a whole industry, a whole portion of waste that was created from my hamburgers, right? From me wanting food, from me wanting beef. I can only imagine, right, with that first conversation is like you're going to a farmer and you're like, basically, give me your trash, and they're like, why, right? And you show them this amazing thing, and it's so revolutionary, right? And that's crazy. And I didn't know that a problem existed until Vermalo came by and showed us that it was a solution. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And getting into like numbers, like how much tallow would you say you would use for a certain product, right? For like I say like deodorant or like lip balm.
Yeah, so it's the sole ingredient in all my formulas, because it's like the gold ingredient. So it's always at least 60% or more. Almost all my formulas are like 80% and up. The deodorant is a little bit less just because it's mainly for like a smoothing agent. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of other ingredients that help with that actual like odor control. So I would say the deodorant is about 20% versus that's the like least amount in all of my products. And the lip balm is like 95% tallow. So you're getting, when you're buying a Vermala product, almost all of it is the actual tallow, which is most of my mission. A lot of people are like, "Oh, are you going to dive into this? Are you going to dive into this?" It's like, no, I'm going to stick to my key products that I know work and that are staples. And yeah, it's
I mean,
it's mainly
it's
almost everything is like 75 up percent tallow.
and it's shown, right? Like when you invest in your community invests back in you, right? With the farmers markets and now showing up in all these other places and now having apparel, right? And having a
Mhm.
Vermalo sort of brand identity within the state of Vermont. And like you said, you had an interview last year with WCAX where you said like you wanted to have something that was for Vermonters in Vermont. Um, how do you balance kind of like sourcing that locally, like you said, like eventually when you get to that big boss lady standard, right? People are always going to say maybe you should get into this, maybe you should get into that. How do you balance sourcing locally and staying true to home and maintaining that environmentally sustainable ethos? Like you said, a lot of skincare products then went the easier route and then at the expense of our health, their profits. So how do you then balance the two while expanding and still trying to reach more people and tell more stories?
It's a great question. This year in particular, I've had to do a lot of thinking. Um, not solely about my process and that, but like expansion and growth.
Right.
When I source, everything is first sourced from Vermont, obviously. So like all of my suet from 100% grass-fed finished farmers right here in Vermont. I will never strive away from that. That is like the whole purpose of my business. The next thing that I source from Vermonters would be my raw crystallized honey and the
Mm-hmm.
beeswax that I use. Those are from Champlain Valley apiaries. They are out of Middlebury.
Oh,
They're a 4 generation apiary, really
wow.
great to work with them. So I source all of my bee honey products from them. When we start to dive into other things, like other cold pressed oils that I use, there's a really beneficial carrier oil called black cumin seed oil. It's like my second top to tallow. It's anti-cancer, antifungal, antimicrobial. It's incredible, both internally and externally. And unfortunately, we don't have anyone around here that produces or creates that kind of oil that I need. So I go through an in-depth process of sourcing any ingredient that I can't get right here in Vermont or in the US. I go through like quality standards. Where are they sourcing the raw material to create the oil, as well as like who is doing all of this work? Is it ethical? Are these people being paid fairly? So I try to do my best to support the right companies. So everything is sourced from the USA except for a few oils that can only be found in like tropical
Right,
areas.
right.
Yeah.
And the limitations of environment and this and a third, but it does allow you to have conversations with other people, right? And
Mhm.
these people
Mhm.
that also may have their products be used for other things, but then say, wait, my products are being used with what? And that sparks a whole thing, right? So do you find that you're sparking a new conversation in skincare, either, with one-on-one conversations day to day, or maybe even now with the greater conversations with the people that you're sourcing with, and other things?
Yeah, I have a lot of interesting conversations with other tallow producers, other companies. There are multiple different ways on how you can process suet. And there's actually a lot of controversy on online ever since it started like trending about what is the most or the best way to do it. So there is a lot of confrontation, not by my end by means, but like a lot of people online going back and forth between rendering practices, um, as well as certain techniques and styles. I've had a lot of communication with some other small batch producers in other states that are also doing the same systems that I am to follow quality lines. And it's really fun to bounce back and forth with other creators who are as passionate as me, because it justifies the decisions that I'm making.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm like, is this the right call? I
Right,
mean,
right.
it's supporting my beliefs, but is everyone else going to be able to get on board? And then those connections, like I literally had someone in my DMs today, like, I support if you decide to make this decision. I'm my business and I support you, which makes me feel good because I mean, sometimes you have to make big change.
Right, right.
You're constantly learning and educating yourself and growing. So the community that is there, you just have to like pick and choose and find like what aligns with your mission as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's crazy, right? Like you get into this new thing that you had no idea about 2 years ago, and now you're like in the tallow inner circles with
Yeah.
other tallow conversationalists and learning the tallow lingo. It's cool. It's cool.
Mhm.
So what misconceptions, right? Can you clear up for us when, like you said, like you're going up to someone and you can't just say, "Hey, smear this beer fat, bit cow fat on your face." Like they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. So what sort of misconceptions do you have to kind of face and clear up as you navigate building and sharing your business?
Yeah. So first would be the talking about quality, where I'll first say like not all tallow is created equal. Going back to quality, because it started trending, a lot of big companies are trying to dip into that pot
Right.
to, boost their revenue and join the trend. And unfortunately, they're not doing the best practices in like making other small batch creators hurt a little bit by putting all this bad quality tallow out on the market. So be sure, like, if you are going to try tallow, that the creator of the product is completely transparent on how they process it, how they do it, who are they sourcing their ingredients from. And another misconception is, oh, I'm going to smell like beef.
Right.
Hmm. Yes, tallow does have this unscented, natural unscented smell. I wouldn't call it beefy necessarily. It's more earthy smelling to me, but I am also around it all the time, so I'm pretty
Right.
used to it. But it's once you render it down, and you extract all the impurities, so like any of the fine tissues that are wrapped around the fat or any remaining like muscle fibers, with rendering that gets extracted, and what's left is like the pure fat, and it usually
Mhm.
only takes around 2 heating sessions to get to that point, and it's essentially pretty odorless. And
Right.
then what I'm able to do is either add essential oil, which a lot of people like because essential oils have other benefits to them as well, or I do some natural herbal infusions. So I can infuse like lavender. My most popular one is vanilla bean. I infuse organic vanilla bean into one of my formulas, and it smells like sugar cookies. If you
Ooh.
really like that. So just a misconception of like, I'm gonna smell like beef, I'm gonna be really greasy. You are not. Paid a lot of attention to my formulas and trying to make sure that the greasy feel does not last. You're gonna feel initially greasy when you first put it on because it's a thick hydrator. It
I
will.
mean, honestly, in Vermont, like you need that. Like how cold it is and the
Mhm,
dry skin
mhm.
season, like you definitely need like a thick layer of some moisturizing lotion because yeah, the dry skin and eczema is real out here.
Yeah,
Like it's real,
and
especially on my blue collar workers. Yeah,
that cold air just pulls all that moisture
yeah.
out of your face in the winter. So it's great for your fingers, for your heels, for your knees, elbows, like anywhere you struggle with dryness. I put it on before bed and I wake up completely hydrated and it's chef's kiss.
Wonderful, wonderful. Like I said, I mean that it gets cold and like that Aquaphor, that water-based lotion, like I said, it just dries up in the cold, and you're left thinking, I just lotion myself. You got to walk around with lotion all day.
Hmm.
So now looking forward to like 2026, right? You start in 2024, you've expanded. You're at like almost every farmers market now. You're got the hoodie on, repping Big Vermont, got the truckers out now. So what can we look forward to now this year? What are we excited for this year?
This year, I'm excited for consistency. Last year I did a lot of work in like creating four new lines and trying to like expand my brand. And
Right.
this year I'm really not going to try and expand anymore, but I'm going to try and like fine tune what I've already created and just keep building that group, that incredible group that is now behind me, and just keep educating and keep pushing people to make that switch, from the drugstore stuff. Our skin is our biggest organ, so we absorb anything and everything that we put on it. So the more people I can get to go to the tallow side, the dark side, the better. So I think my goal is to continue to keep the balance of me working a full-time job with this on the side, just because otherwise it would not be sustainable for me and I would not be able to continue to do it. So figuring out that balance of not burning myself out on both ends, while also probably expanding into maybe needing another set of hands, a bigger
Ooh, wonderful,
space.
wonderful.
Yeah, so maybe some like upgrades with space and people, but the formulas and the process hopefully will stay the same.
And honestly, amazing work that you got going on. Like like I said, I didn't know anything about it until I got into the site and got into the whole story. And I'm like, this is amazing. This has to be told because what? Like, did not know that you can make lip balm, sunscreen, deodorant, lotion, all these things with beef fat, right? And it's just sitting right there to be used untouched by the market that we're consuming the most. So is there like a line? Is there a regimen that you suggest from Vermalo, the Vermalo line that people should do either before bed, in the morning? What's the skincare line?
Oh gosh. Well, I use so many different, I use all of my products all day, every day. But the basic one for people to start with would be just the basic moisturizer. Get a feel of the amount that you like on your skin. Some people like to what I call slugging,
Right.
and they'll put a really thick layer on before bed and then wake up super hydrated. Whereas some people like to, a little goes a long way. So they'll put a little on, wait 15, 30 minutes, see if they feel like they need more, and then they'll apply more. Kind of just depends on your preference. I like to really lather it on.
Yeah,
My
I'm a slugger.
fiance,
I'm a slugger. I like that. I like that
yeah,
term.
yeah.
I'm gonna say that too. I'm a slugger.
And my fiance doesn't really like the super heavy application,
Hmm,
so he'll
hmm.
just put a thin layer on before he leaves the house and then reapplies as he needs throughout the day. I don't have time to reapply because I'm in a food production facility, so I can't
Right,
like step
right.
out and reapply. So I try to like do it the night before. That way I'm not, greased up before I'm at work.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But Perry, thank you so much for coming and kicking with me. Like I said, you're doing amazing work here in our state and really doing us proud. And I'm glad that, a gift to you then became a gift to our community because you decided to share that with us. So I appreciate that. You all can follow Vermalo on IG. You guys see on the bottom, VERMALLOW. You guys check it out on the website at vermalovt.square.site. Is there anything else that you want to share with us, Perry, before we head out of here?
Well, yeah, I would love to give a little promo code to anyone who
Ooh, I
watched
love
this
free
video.
money.
So, if you made it to the end of this video, please enjoy 15% off an order at Vermallo using the code
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Kachi
Oh,
15.
nice. I
Yeah,
appreciate
all
that. I
caps
appreciate
too.
that. Kachi 15, if you want that 15% off code at Vermalo, make sure you guys get all those skincare needs. I'm telling you, the winter is cold. Lather up. It is ashy. In the summer, it gets real hot too. They got sunscreen too. And the lip balm, guys, stop. The ladies been talking to me. That's all I'm gonna say. Get your Vermalo lip balm 50% off, Kachi 15. Perry, thank you so much for coming to Kick Me once again. Kudos to you, boss lady.
Oh, you're
Thank you all for
welcome.
watching another episode of Kicking with Kachi. You guys can check it out on Instagram at Kicking with Kachi Show, on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Instagram. Follow me on IG at onye.777, three of them because I'm lucky. Perry Willett, everybody of Vermalo, and we are out of here. Peace.